Hey everyone, today we're going to talk about MessageBox in Tkinter. So without declaring a new screen, you can have one. But its functionalities are limited. So let's check what I'm actually talking about. Basically, I will declare buttons and the commands would contain functions that call the message boxes. We can have many types of message box. As per our requirement, we can have the show info, show warning, show error, ask question, ask OK cancel, ask yes no, ask retry cancel. These all are functions available in the message box module. Now we'll check them one by one. Let's get started. So I'll write from Tkinter import star and also from Tkinter import message box. You need to import this message box module separately, and then I'll get the window. I'll write win equals tk brackets, and I'll also give in a title. I'll write win.title. Let the title be message box. And then I'll also specify the size of the screen. So I'll write win.geometry 400 cross 400 in double quotes. So that's how you can specify the size of the screen. This is a new thing. Then we will define the functions one by one. They would be given as command for each button. So first of all, I'll use the show info function. So I'll write def show info brackets, and I'll write message box dot show info. So the first string would be the heading of the message box. So I'll write important because this is just an information. And for the message, I'll write this might take a minute. Okay. Then similarly, I'll define some more functions. I'll write something for show error. So I'll write def error and message box dot show error. The title would be error and the message would be the specified path does not exist because this is an error. You can give in any messages as per requirement. Then I'll have something for ask question. I'll write def q message box dot ask question, and I'll write title age, and the message would be are you 13 years old or above question mark. So in ask question function, you'll have two options to select from, yes or no, and accordingly you can select. Then I'll define for ask OK or cancel. I'll write def cancel. You can name the function anything. It's just what function you call. Then I'll write message box dot ask OK cancel and let the title be delete and message be are you sure you want to delete question mark. Then I'll have the function yes no. So I'll write def yes no brackets, and I'll call the ask yes no function. Write message box dot ask yes no and let the title be confirmation and the message be are you sure you want to proceed. So ask yes no also gives you two options to select from, yes and no. So you might think that ask yes no and ask question functions are same, but they're not. The ask question returns yes or no string, but the ask yes no function returns a boolean, true for yes and false for no. Okay, then you also have the ask retry cancel, so I'll define a function for that too. I'll write def retry. Now for this function you will have two options to select from, retry and cancel. Now if you click on retry, this ask retry cancel function returns true, and if you click on cancel, it returns false. So just to give you an idea of what is happening, I'll declare a variable for this function which will store this boolean. So I'll have r equals MessageBox dot ask retry cancel. Let the title be failure, and the message, let it be, do you want to try again, question mark. And if r is true, if r, then I'll print retry. I'll simply print retry on the console, and else I'll print cancel. Cool. Then I'll move on to the next function. I'll have this show warning function, so I'll write def warn and MessageBox dot show warning. Let the title be warning in caps, and let the message be, this might lead to malfunction of the app. Okay. Now I have all the functions for all the buttons. Now I'll declare the buttons one by one and assign them these functions. We have 7 functions, so we'll have 7 buttons. So let's start. b1 equals button, and where do I want my button? I want it on the window, so I'll write win. Text equals information, because first I'll have the show info command, so command equals show info. Background, let it be sky blue. Foreground, let it be white. Active background, let it be light green. Then I'll place this button. I'll write b1 dot place, and x equals 100, y equals 100. So I'll simply give in a coordinate, and similarly I'll have all my buttons, so I'll just copy this and edit the next ones. So for b2, I want it on the screen, so I'll write win as master. Then text would be error, command would also be error, and the rest let it be same. I'll change the coordinates to 100, 200, right, 200. Okay. Then in b3, I'll have when, text let it be retry, command would be retry. I have my retry function, and then let the rest be same, let the decoration be same for the button, and I'll have the coordinates as 100, 300, so y would be 300. Then again I'll have b4, I'll change the text to question, command will be QUE, and I'll change the coordinates to 200, 100, so x would be 200, y would be 100. Then b5, let it be cancel, command will be cancel, and the rest would be same. Then the x coordinate, let it be 200, y let it be 200. Then I'll have P6. Text, let it be yes, no. Yes or no. And command, let it be yes, no. Coordinates will be 200, 300. Okay. Then B7. Let the text be warning. Command will be warn. Coordinates will be 300 and 100. Okay. And I'll call in the main loop. I'll write win.main loop. I hope there is no confusion. The text for buttons is what would be displayed on the buttons. The command for the buttons are user-defined functions which contain the MessageBox widget functions, okay? So you should be very clear about all this. Now let's run this and see the buttons and check out the message boxes, how they are popped up on the screen. So I have my screen and I can see the buttons as defined, and I'll click on each one of them. I get a sound too. So this important is the title as defined, and this might take a minute. So this I symbol is there, and I have to click on OK because that's the only available option. And I have question, and there's a question mark symbol. I have two options. So there are differences in each function. And for warning, I have an exclamation mark symbol. Then for cancel, I have a question mark again, but the options are different. I have OK cancel. Then for retry, there is retry cancel. And when I click on retry, I can see retry printed on the terminal because that's how I defined it. Now that's pretty much it about the MessageBox widget. Thank you.